Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Bhakti, hello, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances, and I would ask all the senior Vaishnavas and everyone else to give me your blessings, so I can say and repeat something for my purification, and also to something for glorification of Krishna, hopefully. Today we're gonna read from first canto, 18th chapter, text number 10. This is a part where the sages of Namisharanya are asking additional questions. They are glorifying Sutta Goswami before continuing on the story how Parikshit Maharaj got cursed by the Brahmana boy. So he just chastised the Kaliya, the personification of Kali. And now they are saying some really nice, important points that, especially as a celebration of Janmashtami, we would like to get the best benefit of it. So it is good to reflect on these points. So the verse is number 10. Yeah. Yaya Kata Bhagavata. Yaya Katha Bhagavata Kataniyoru Karmanaha Kataniyoru Karmanaha Guna Karma Shrayas Pumbi Guna Karma Shraya Pumbi Sam Sevyasta Bubushubi Sam Sevyasta Bubushubi Yaya Katha Bhagavata Kataniyoru Karmanaha Guna Karma Shraya Pumbi Sam Sevyasta Bubushubihi Vaishnava. Yaya Kata Bhagavata Karmaniyoru Karmana Guna Karma Shraya Bhumbi Savesyasta Bubushubihi. My mothers. Yaya Kata Bhagavata Kataniyoru Karmana Guna Karma Shraya Pumbi Savesyasta Bubushubihi. Anyone else? Like to try? Word by word. Yaha, whatever. Yaha, and whatsoever. Kataha, topics. Bhagavataha, about the personality of Godhead. Kathaniya, probably Kataniya, were to be spoken by me. Uru Karmanaha, of him who acts wonderfully. Guna, transcendental qualities. Karma, uncommon deeds. Ashrayaha, involving. Pumbihi, by persons. Samsevyaha, out to be heard. Taha, all of them. Bubushubihi, by those who want their own welfare. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translations. Those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life must submissively hear all topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of the personality of Godhead, who acts wonderfully. Can you repeat? Those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life must submissively hear all topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of the personality of Godhead, who acts wonderfully. Purport. The systematic hearing of the transcendental activities, qualities and names of Lord Sri Krishna pushes one towards eternal life. Systematic hearing means knowing Him gradually in truth and fact. And this knowing Him in truth and fact means attaining eternal life, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Such transcendental qualities, such transcendental glorified activities of Lord Sri Krishna are the prescribed remedy for counteracting the process of birth, death, old age and disease, which are considered to be material awards for the conditioned living being. The culmination of such a perfectional stage of life is the goal of human life and the attainment of transcendental bliss. Yaya kata bhagavata kataniyo rukarmanaha guna karma shraya pubi sam sevyasta bubushubihi. Those who are desirous of achieving complete perfection in life must submissively hear all topics that are connected with the transcendental activities and qualities of the personality of Godhead, who acts wonderfully. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gana Jana Shalakaya Chakshu Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namo Bhishtam Swapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadanmayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapalakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sakakana Ragunatam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambidam Shcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamriti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatate Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today is Janmashtami, the day that we celebrate Krishna's appearance. And Krishna says in the very well-known verse that was also mentioned in this purport, Janva karma chame divyam. Who knows my activities of birth, of my qualities, of my activities, will not again be born in this world. And do we actually know his janma? Do we actually know his karma? Do we really know him truthfully? This is what I want to question today. Because if we really want to go back to Godhead, we should not deceive ourselves that we are on the level that we are not. That we know Krishna, but we actually don't know him. If you go outside in the Balkan region and in Europe, there are lots of Indians now. Lots of Indian people. And if you come approach them, you can ask them, do you know Krishna? Oh, yes, of course, I know Krishna. Yes, he makancho, he steals butter, he is like mischievous, he, teases the gopis, yeah? And he says this while he's smoking and drinking, and he's like, I'm Brahmana. So this is not what it means to know Krishna. If it's so easy, then everybody in the kindergarten should learn the childhood pastimes of Krishna, and that's it, everybody is liberated. But it's not so easy. In this verse, Prabhupada emphasizes systematic hearing of transcendental activities, qualities and names of the Lord. That means knowing Him gradually, in truth and facts. Attaining eternal life. Understanding His full glories, power and sweetness. If we would actually know His actual glories, His sweetness and power, we would not hesitate to surrender unto Him. We would not even hanker for even a slight thing of material enjoyment. We would not even consider this material as anything valuable. It is prescribed duties, process of samsara, goal of life. So, there is one, to hear the glories of the Lord is actually our nature. Our nature is to hear glorification of someone. And to actually hear glorification, to remember that person and to worship him. It is nicely described in the first canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 14, where it said, therefore, with one pointed attention, one should constantly hear about, glorify, remember, and worship the personality of Godhead, who is protector of the devotees. Prabhupada mentions in the purport of this verse, general occupation in one ashrama. The principle of life is that without one cannot exist. He said that one cannot exist in this world if he doesn't hear, glorify, remember, or worship someone. So we need to do. We need to hear the glories of someone. We need to remember someone. We need to worship someone. So it's our constitutional position. Modern society, he said, Prabhupada, all activities are more or less dependent on hearing and glorifying some common man. So if you reflect about it, modern society exists because we are glorifying the demons. We are glorifying some presidents. And we are speaking about their activities. And then we are speaking about these activities and we are commenting on the activities of these common men. Any man in any society, any social status become very well known in a human society within a very short time if he simply glorify him truly or falsely in the daily newspapers. This is some temporary reactions to such propaganda, but there is no permanent effect. Waste of time. So to glorify, to hear, to remember and worship is something we will have to do. So let's do it towards to Krishna. But there is one prerequisite for Krishna Katha. In the verse 1.18 and 15, first canto, 18 chapter, 15 verse, and many times in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam it is written that the speaker and audience must be qualified. Must be qualified. So we are hearing Bhagavatam every day, glorification of Krishna, but it doesn't seem like we get the effect of that in our hearts. How come? Quality of the speaker, Bhagavat Pradhan, should have only one chief object of worship and service, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Speak on the transcendental activities of the Lord. So, okay. So what would be alternative to that? Alternative to that would be if a person is doing Bhagavad Katha for his prestige, maintenance. You have this, what's called Bhagavad Saptas. 7 days in a row, thousands of people coming to hear Bhagavad Katha. But Prabhupada say it's a show. It's a show. He's like doing it because he's a really famous Bhagavad reciter, and he does this not to actually glorify the Lord, he's actually doing this for maintaining his family. So at least let me try to be a speaker who is going to actually say this because of the welfare of us and the glorification of Krishna. This is the quality of speaker, but there is one more quality of audience that is really important. There should be two. One is speaking, the other one is hearing. Quality of the audience is shushrushatam. Should be anxious and receptive to hear about him, about the message of the Lord. Anxious. So many times Prabhupada is saying this word, anxious, eager to hear. So it's not like, okay, we have program, Guru Puja, this, Bhagavatam lecture, Prashadam, finally, something tangible. No. Do we gonna get the symptom of transcendental discussion? Will we get the symptoms of transcendental discussion of the Lord? Will depend, is the speaker qualified and are we as the audience qualified? And Prabhupada said, when we are qualified to hear, we're gonna be qualified to speak. So, audience should have no motivation for material gain when they are hearing. It should hearing just for the satisfaction of the Lord. And we have to practice this skill. It's a skill. You have to practice. We have to try it, and then practice, and then master it, perfect it. And example is Sutta Goswami, and the saints of Namashiranya. So what are the symptoms of properly hearing and speaking? What is the symptom of pure Krishna Katha? In such discussion, unlimited transcendental pleasure is relished. So we're going to relish transcendental pleasure, both by the speaker and audience. We're going to be on a transcendental level, and one also good thing is that then and there, very much congenial atmosphere to continue discussion for many, many hours. In this case of the sages of Namashiranya, they were able to speak the Katha for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj were speaking 7 days without break. No break. So, if we really want to achieve the success of life, we have to hear. And to hear, we have to hear properly. What happens if we properly hear? It is described in the first verse of 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada describes the 5 verses from 1st canto, 2nd chapter, from 17 to 21st. 5 verses saying that this is the process of understanding Krishna. So, okay, we heard the Leelas of Krishna, but we actually don't know the Krishna yet. Now Prabhupada gives you the formula, the 5 verses, which actually tells you how to really understand Krishna. So from, only hearing the Leelas to actually really knowing Krishna, 5 verses. 17 verses. Shrinvata svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana hrid anta stohi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. Anyone knows these verses? Nasta prayasha badrishu nitya bhagavatam sevaya bhagavat uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naishtiki. Very famous verses saying, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart, and the benedictor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire of a material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. We have urge to hear, we have properly heard and chanted. So we're speaking about properly hearing, proper audience, proper speaker. Now urge to hear. Next one. So 18. By regular attendance in the class of Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as irrevocable fact. Tada rajatamo bhavet kamalabhadayaschaye Četa etar anavidam stita satve prasidati. To ti je 1, 2, 17, 18, 19. Tako da imaš, bit će ti lakše. Da, sam si otvori. 1, 2, 17, 18, 19. Stih 19. Možeš počitati ove prva 2, 17, 18, da bude lakše. So let's again read the 17, 18 verse. Shri Krishna, personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart, and the benedictor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire of material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which in themselves virtuous, when properly heard and enchanted. Virtuous. Very nice, isn't it? By regular attendance in class of Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to a pure devotee, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised by transcendental songs, is established as irrevocable fact. Wow, that's like a strong word, irrevocable. Tada rajastamo bhavam kama loba yadaschaye cheta etar anavidam stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service, so as soon as that happens, is established in the heart, the effects of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hatred, disappears from the heart. So if you want to get out of passion and mode of ignorance, this is the way. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Verse 20. Evam prasana manaso bhagavat bhakti yogataha bhagavat tattva vigyanam mukta sangasya jayate. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, unalloyed, so it's pure goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service of the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Gains positive science, knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. So in this it's mentioned that this science of knowledge of Krishna will gain only when we are liberated from the modes of material nature. Because we cannot understand transcendental activities if we are not transcendental ourselves. Is it? And last verse. Bidyate hridaya grantis chidyante sarvasam shayaha kshiyate chashakamani drishta evat manishvare. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive action is terminated when one sees the self as master. So Prabhupada, in the first verse of 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita, he mentions that he explains these 5 verses in such a way. First, hearing about Krishna is righteous activity. So it's a pious activity to hear about Krishna. One who constantly engages in hearing properly, as we said, properly, urgently, about Krishna, Krishna acts as the best well-wishing friend. Shri Shri Panchatattva Shri Gornitai Shri Shri Radha Krishna ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balarama ki, Shri Shri Govardhana ki, Jai. Wow, such an amazing, beautiful altar. Jai. Krishna acts as a well-wishing friend who eagerly, constantly, properly hears. Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, purifies the heart of such devotee. Why? We were hearing in the Bhagavad Gita classes that by worshipping the Vasudeva, by hearing, this is a sacrifice, especially brahmachari is like the sacrifice of hearing. Uproots the deepest rooted desires we cannot get out. So we can burn the gross manifestations of our desires, but we cannot uproot the roots. Krishna does that. We have to, of course, do our job by regulation, discipline, austerities, penances. But we depend on the mercy of Krishna to uproot this. And how is it? By eagerly hearing. Devotee develops his dormant transcendental knowledge, understanding that he is not this body, that he is a soul. And the more he continues to hear from Srimad Bhagavatam and the devotees, he becomes fixed in devotional service of the Lord. How much of us we can say we are fixed in devotional service of the Lord? I mean fixed. That means like you do not do anything else, but just you do everything for the Krishna's satisfaction. Nothing else. That is Nishta. That is Nishta. That is Nishta stage. You're fixed in devotional service, nothing else. Or at least, whatever you're doing for occupation, you're doing it only for satisfying Krishna. You're doing, okay, I have my duty towards my family, I have my duty to support the temple, let me go and earn money for Krishna. Yeah, to be the best worker. And not like, oh my God, I have to move my job, oh my God. No. We go and do this as a service to Krishna. fixed in devotional service to Krishna. Okay, we are still not there yet. Let's continue. By being fixed in only devotional service, so that whatever we are doing is only devotional service, we become more developed, and we become more developed in it. So it means not like we are, we only fix in it, but we are trying to get better and better in it. One, because free from modes of passion and ignorance. Only then we are free from modes of passion and ignorance. Oh my God, I will never get there. I will never get there. Well, actually, this is the process. Lust and avarice are diminished. So hatred, it is written in the verse. Lust, desire, hatred. Where is it? Yeah. Yes, where is it? Mode of passion. Lust, desire, hatred will disappear from the heart. Perfect. So we will not have any more grudge against anyone. When free from lower modes, one becomes steady in position of pure goodness, transcendence, becomes enlivened to do devotional service. At that point, we are so enlivened to do devotional service. If we have to do anything else at devotional service, we are, oh my God, no. We are enlivened to do devotional service. Not like, Prabhu, can you do this service? Like, oh, I have to, can I enjoy my senses? I came here for pizza, not to do service. I heard that Sunday feast they are selling pizzas, that's why I came, And it said, in a pure goodness, we understand the science of God perfectly. Perfectly. Amazing. Then, only then, one hard knot of material affection. So any affection for any aspect of material life, family, siblings, or whatever we think we are attached to this material world, everything is severed. Enable us to come to the stage of understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only then we actually know Krishna. Only then. Only then Janma Karma Chame Divyam actually apply to us. Only then. So we have a long way to go. And how is it starts? By attentively, eagerly hearing. Okay, I hope I got your attention. But you can say, oh, Vrishabha, I don't have any taste for hearing. Because you said I have to hear to get purified, but I don't have any taste for hearing, so what will I do? Am I doomed? How will I get taste for hearing so I can develop my hearing, so I get purified to actually know Krishna? Well, there is one nice thing we can do. In the first canto, second chapter, 16th verse. Before these verses, the verse says, Shushrusha. Again, this Shushrusha, about which we heard before. Shushrusha, about the qualities of hearers. Shraddha Dhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Siyan Maha Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanat. Anyone knows this verse? Vasudeva Kataruchi. O twice-born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. And by such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. So if we do not have a taste for hearing, how are we going to get it? By serving pure devotees. And in the last purport of this verse, Prabhupada mentions, the Lord is more pleased when we serve the devotees than we serve the Lord directly. By serving the servant of God, one can please God more than by direct service to the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants risk everything for the service of the Lord and so are very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita 18:69, one of the last verses, he says that no one is dearer to him than one who risks everything to preach his glory. Okay, so what exactly happens when we serve such a person? We get their qualities by serving them. So when you're serving a pure devotee, Prabhupada mentions, by serving the servant of the Lord, one gradually gets the qualities of such servant. And thus one becomes qualified to hear the glories of the Lord. Dun, 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 dun. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible to enter the kingdom of God. Eagerness to hear about God. So how to get eagerness? Associate and serve the ones who have eagerness, who have developed eagerness. And you cannot become a pure devotee if you did not develop that. And also, so service to the pure devotee, we get the qualities. Oh, and also there is one more remark that also reminded me of this. Prabhupada is mentioning in the first canto, third chapter, 44 verse, really famous purport, which is speaking about hearing with rapt attention. How will we be able to hear with rapt attention? Prabhupada says, Shukadeva Goswami presented Bhagavatam as he heard it from his great father. And so also Sukadeva Goswami is presenting Bhagavatam as he had heard it from Shukadeva Goswami. Simply hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word nivista means that Sutta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. I don't know, is anyone now is... Do you want to push out? No, I'm full, thank you. I was just drinking enough of nectar. One should hear, with ears, this is the real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. And now, the grave mentions, no one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. I probably said action. But yeah, work action. And no one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But then he gave a concession, said, but somehow or another, if someone hears with rapt attention, we are, in the mode of passion and ignorance, we are like kind of a little, what's called, knocked out, but if you manage to hear somehow, just like maybe these 5 seconds of hearing, if you somehow or another hear with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Shri Krishna in person in the page of Bhagavatam. So, as we said, we have a mercy of the pure devotee, we are serving the pure devotee, but we are also not going to be able to serve a pure devotee if you are in ignorance and passion. If you are actually still have some sinful tendencies. So we also have to do our thing. We have to do our sadhana really seriously, really, really carefully, really rigidly. We have to sadhana bhakti. We have to stick to regulated pure life. We have to make our life regulated and pure. And you can, pray to the Lord. You can pray to. If you want to pray to something, to Krishna, then pray to Him, so you can actually be pure in your actions, so you can hear purely, so you can understand Him. This is one recommendation. And to follow 4 regulative principles strictly, because if we follow 4 regulative principles, we avoid all sinful life. But we have to strictly follow it. Not like, I'm going to do this is not important, I can do it this way. No, really strictly follow it. Because in the second canto, Krishna says that penances, doing penances in life is actually the essence of bhakti. Doing penances. So we have to do our thing. We have to do our sadhana bhakti really carefully. We have to regulate our life so we can do our sadhana bhakti. Because if we are not regulated life, then we cannot do our sadhana bhakti whatsoever. Association with the devotees and serving the pure devotee. What we have? we get the taste of hearing, qualities of hearing. When we are able to hear with rapt attention and urge, what we get? We get purified. We get the benefit, we get the transcendental nourishment. And by actually perfecting this, we get taste to be fixed in devotional service. By being fixed in devotional service and developing it furthermore, we are actually becoming released from poles of passion and ignorance. We are establishing a pure transcendental level, and we are able to understand Janma Karma Janme Divyam and go back home, back to Godhead. So let us use this today. Today we're going to have a lecture of Maharaj. So let's try to eagerly come to the lecture and eagerly hear from a pure devotee and to get all the juice. Drink all the juice. We're going to fast, so let's nourish ourselves from the past by drinking juice through our ears. So I'm going to stop here. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak this to myself, especially, because I said the false ego hears better when you're speaking, you know. And false ego is like, yeah, I'm speaking, so I should hear it, you know. So it was easier for me to remember this as well. So I would like to open up for the senior Vaishnavas, for the corrections, for comments, for anything you would like to add, anything that you maybe realized, or any questions that you can ask, and I can try to see if we can find the answer to that.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. I hope everybody hears me. Thank you so much for this class. It's really inspiring to also be reminded how this system of knowledge could be also very gradual. So that means it's a multi-layered. And in that sense, we also, you mentioned a couple of aspects that are also relevant in the process of knowing Krishna. It's also submissiveness, this category. So we can hear, you mentioned on the example of Parikshit Maharaj in a quantity, like how actually we need to be exposed to hear intensively and also attentively. But can you please elaborate a little bit more on this quality? Actually, this is quantity of understanding, this submissiveness, and what about quality in your understanding? How to approach to it? Thank you.
Well, this is, but actually, I think that the whole presentation was about quality. Then quantity comes as it was mentioned here, that one of the symptoms of transcendental hearing and quality is that you're not satiated by that. You're actually, you know, you can continue hearing. It's not like you're forcing yourself to hear, you know, but actually if you hear properly, you cannot stop hearing. So at least by this, it looks like the quantity comes, you know, itself automatically after the quality is developed.
Yes, but then, so can you just elaborate more properly?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
the quality. But the quality of hearing, at least it's mentioned here, a few words was anxious, urgingly hear, and with rapt attention. This is what's in the last purport when Prabhupada was mentioning about, it's not simply about hearing, we have to realize it, we have to realize it by actually rapt attention. So this rapt attention, at least I had a big problems with my rapt attention. And one of the reasons is because I had a physical problems with digestion. Because digestion is connected to, you know, if you have a, you know, physical digestion is connected to the mental digestion of the informations. And if I'm not healthy, then I'm not even mentally healthy to hear, actually. So just recently, the last 1 year, I'm actually, you know, like, oh my God, I can hear things. You know, I can actually hear the lecture and, you know, not be all over the universe with the mind. So, yes, this is what I see as our endeavor. Our endeavor that we do not deceive ourselves thinking that, yeah, I was in the Bhagavatam class, you know, I got the benefit. the thinking that I can live any lifestyle, and I can properly hear when I come to Bhagavatam class. No, that's not possible. How can you, if we do not have a lifestyle which is in mode of goodness, how will we be able to come to Bhagavatam class? Okay, now mind, I know that you're a rascal all the time, but now you're going to be fixing this. No, he'll be a rascal anyway. He'll be even more rascal. Oh my God, he's speaking something. Let me think about something else. No, he's not going to listen. So this quality, this rapt attention, as actually the quality of hearing that Prabhupada is mentioning, we have to develop pure lifestyle. And I personally don't see how is it possible if we are not or in a sacred place like a temple or in a sacred place like a farm community where there is no so much disturbances and influences of this demoniac passion and ignorance on us. I mean, I'm really inspired by Grihastas, because I have no idea how are they practicing their spiritual life with all of these things they have to do in the city, and living in the city, and having children in the city, and educating them in the city. It's like I have no idea. I would not be able to practice my spiritual life. It is so hard. It's so difficult. And the only thing I see, if we are in a farm community where the whole atmosphere is pure, with all these, jumbo and all these kind of different things that try to, influence your brain, and always being in the nature, connected, living really naturally, really makes an influence on the mind and the body and health, and the toxins are getting out, and we are full of toxins. We are full of toxins. How can we hear if we are full of toxins, if we are just barely surviving, actually? So, at least in my case, when I started to really get my body in shape, and then that helped me to get my mind in shape, then I was able to actually hear with rapt attention. But then it really takes a really decision to, change things in your life for spiritual progress, and not put spiritual life just as one aspect of your life. So, yeah, it's a big topic, and I really pray that Prabhupada gives us understanding how to really move all the devotees, family people, to the farm communities, so they can feel and see, wow, I can still be a family man and have an amazing sadhana, an amazing spiritual practice, an amazing devotional life, and I have a family, children, and everything. And that will be on a higher level than what they have it here now. So I hope so. Did I answer your question?
It's wonderful for sharing from your point of view. I actually wanted to hear that, because some devotees also doing amazing service even in the city. But yes, yeah. You said that's how you see it, because yukta vairagya, whatever. Yes, wherever we are, we can.
It seems like there are a few exceptions that are doing really well. I was thinking for a general congregation that would be much more beneficial.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think there is another question.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the nice class, and congratulations for taking another ashram. Otherwise, I had a similar, almost same question as Hemangi Gopi did, because a lot. Srimad Bhagavatam and everything, how you put it all in a structure, really how important is hearing. And of course, at least myself, I would like to hear more about how to hear, how to properly hear, how to get that eagerness, of course, associating with with the persons who has this eagerness. Of course, this helps everything. But still, this in practice, that's the main point of all of this, what I heard today from the lecture. So how can I put this in practice, to attentive hearing, rapt hearing, it's really, really, okay, you said body, health in body, you know. So what about those who they have problem with the body, problem with the mind, you know? It's this really such an obstacle that they cannot hear, or is there any other technique, if I can say like that, you know, to properly hear, you know? Because we need to learn how to hear, you know. We hear about we need to hear rapidly, but how to do it, you know. So I'm just asking like similar question, is there any other technique to hear it beside being pure in action, being pure in mind, because I'm not there and it's far away from me, but still I want to hear now, here and now, but still I don't. So do you use any, or do you have any other, maybe besides how to live purely?
One thing I really like that any step towards better hearing and pure life and everything helps the other aspects as well. So it's really like a conscious desire of the soul. Please, Krishna, bring me to that level. And I really take because why I was wanted to have this. I was speaking to Ananta Prabhu. Why I wanted to have this class in the morning. Because I wanted to us to go back to the basics and to actually really pray a lot to perfect our basic, you know, our basic steps towards Krishna. And if we really, because we are gonna jumping, you know, let me know about higher levels and higher levels, but we see that because we are not establishing our basic things, you're always falling short. And if we have a great desire, Krishna will guide us for our case. What will help us? What, you know, is this, adjust this life, this now do here now serve him, okay, now adjust this part, now you're ready for this. Because it's a gradual thing. It will take us years to perfect our hearing. And it's so important because, you know, one thing that really also brings pure hearing is pure Shraddha, pure faith. Pure faith that Krishna is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is actually controlling everything, and I don't have to do anything, I just have to surrender to Him. The reason why we are not surrendered to Him fully, because we are not having true Shraddha. So this hearing is actually giving us pure Shraddha. So in every case, I was just tapping on different areas we can develop, and by prayer and sincerity, Krishna will guide you what you can do now and later, what, you know, it's really complex. It's really complex. And the more you are sincerely endeavoring and trying, and Buddhist says, you are hearing when you're chanting, you are hearing when you're Bhagavatam, you're doing the same thing, it's Shravanam. So yeah, emphasizing hearing and developing hearing, I guess it's, I see it as a really important aspect of our life. And one thing that really happened in my life, that for the first time, I understood I don't have to think about anything when I'm hearing the holy name. And I'm just hearing the holy name, like, okay, you know, what's now gonna happen? I'm just hearing the holy name. And then it's like you just continue hearing. And then you see things are gradually start to develop. It's not like, you know, you hear first holy name, it's like Krishna, yeah, finally, yeah, you know, he's jumping out, you know. Gradually, you know, Bhakti Lata is growing. So yeah, gradual. It's a gradual process. Just endeavor, please. Endeavor sincerely.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. And if I can say, just because I was in one, unfortunately I forgot where I was, but it was one seminar from one devotee about hearing. And he gave us a beautiful exercise, which really helps. Yeah, if I just can share.
Yeah, please.
So, for example, you know, if you will talk today, you invite devotee to, if he wants to do it the same. So you can say to him, okay, whatever I will say, whatever, please repeat. And then you do the same for him.
Oh
you know,
God.
that's the training how to hear. You know, just share with each other and repeat. What he or she said, you repeat the same, not like the same words, and you know, like this was one of such a useful exercise, you know, because you know, then you can see, oh my God, what was the? So it was. You need to practice, of course, as well, but it's such a practical, I would say, exercise. I just wanted to.
Thank you very much. Very practical and down to earth. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? It's 5 after 9. It's like if anyone wants to add something or anything. Well, then thank you very much. Hope to hear the holy name a lot today. Anantarachi Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Janmashtami celebration ki jai, Gaura Pramanande, Hari Hari Bom, Manchakala Patrapusha, Kripasinda Vyachapata, Nipana Vishnu. Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ne se vraćali namete.